Addressing a media briefing, Central Bank Governor Johannes says their monetary policy stance is a step towards normalizing the current negative real interest rate environment and establish a positive interest rate conducive to long-term economic growth. This, he suggests, will further safeguard the one-to-one link between the Namibian dollar and the South African rand while meeting the country's international financial obligations.
So if we don't take a gradual approach and increase inflation of the repo rate by 25 basis points this time around, and we keep it unchanged to give relief measures, what will happen is we'll come way behind the curve. We'll be forced to take big chunks of increases in future. It will come sudden. Inflation expectations won't be anchored. It will be totally de-anchored. So that's the reason why we have decided, let us take a gradual approach and increase by 25 basis points to address the pressures that are building up.
But what does the increase mean to an ordinary Namibian? Kavachap explains.
So what it simply means is the cost of borrowing is going to increase. If you currently have got a home loan, a car loan, or an overdraft with the banks, it's going to increase by about 25 bips if you don't have any other issues. The cost of borrowing is increasing. If you have got loans with banks, that loans are going to be more expensive. And the cost of basic consumer goods will also increase in the country. You'll see that.
The governor said it was important to note that the inflation currently experienced in the country, including the rise in food and petrol prices, are driven by external factors.
What we need to understand clearly, inflation in Namibia is driven by external factors. It's driven by fuel prices, by supply constraints, by sanctions imposed against Russia, and we as a country have very little control over those developments that are taking place. It's externally driven. So the source of the current inflation in Namibia is not caused by domestic factors.
Food and transport components are expected to remain elevated and will continue to have a disproportionate effect on the low-income segments of society. As such, the governor says it requires close monitoring. Selima Henok, NBC News, Windhoek.